two matchups coming up. What do you what's the like about it?
Well, I don't know if there's when I'm resting at night. I don't know if I'm sitting there saying, "Boy, I really like this," but no. In all honesty, you do as a basketball coach. You've got another regional rivalry, and this game has always been. It's always been a great game. It's a great game for our fans, great game for our players on both sides. So I expect. Last year it went down to the wire at their place. The year before it went to overtime here, and it wouldn't surprise me if you're looking at another overtime buzzer beater type game here in this facility.
Sean was just telling me they're calling it the revenge tour right now with SLU, SEMO, and now going with Murray State and Buffalo. What do you like about the momentum of the team right now?
Well, I can't take credit for that because Coach Walker came up with that, and but I agree with that. I mean, I think it's a great way to focus, and I think when you have a basketball team, you do your best to do little check marks and little to-do list, and this is certainly one of the things that we talked about to start the year. And let's just get the revenge tour part out of it. How about we just try to win basketball games and win? What have we won, 5 in a row? Let's try to win 6 in a row and do our very best job to do that, and try to win another home game against a very good opponent.
Morant was third fiddle last year, and this year he's #1 with a bullet. What have you seen from last year and him making a leap this year?
Maturity. There's maturity and confidence. I mean, they're at an all-time high. I mean, I don't mind telling you, I'm excited to watch him play. I don't think I've ever seen a dunk like I saw in the last 12 seconds of Alabama. I mean, I've rolled that back about 100 times. Matter of fact, all my buddies, I've texted them. I just said, "Here, you need to see this." It's the most freakish athletic play I think I've ever seen. If you ever run it on your news station, you guys are, well, I'm not going to tell you how to do your job, but I think I'd probably figure out how to run that on my news station. But I'm excited to see him play. I'm excited for us to see how we take up the challenge. But the bottom line is, guys, that we're all sitting here talking about one guy. The one guy distributes the basketball, and the other guys are pretty good too. Buchanan is really a good player. Tevin Brown, he's only shot 7 times inside the arc. I think he's more comfortable shooting from the parking lot than he is near the goal. So this is a young man that everybody has to be cognizant of at all times. And you don't guard a great player with one guy. You guard a great player with your entire team. And we try to emphasize that in our practice. It's not just the guy that gets the assignment. Everybody has to be cognizant at all times of where he is.
Will Armand play tomorrow night?
No.
Do we know when he'll play again?
No.
I don't think you coached against Cannon when he was at Murray. I know
no,
you coached
but I said that. It's funny you bring that up. I just talked about it. Let me rephrase that. I don't know if Armand will play tomorrow night or not. I don't know when Armand's going to play. Okay? So that's between me and him. So I better rephrase that. I just said to Mike Reese on the pregame radio, he wanted to talk about Starks. He wanted to talk about Cameron. And I brought up Cannon. And I just said, he reminds me more of Cannon than anyone. But I will say this, of all the guys that we just mentioned, he's the best of all of those guys getting downhill. He attacks the basket. I'm just trying to think, as I've been in this business 38 years, there are very few players that I can remember that attack the basket as aggressive as he does. I've said this and I'll say it again, he's worth the price of admission. I mean, our fans are going to get to see a really good basketball player tomorrow night. I hope they get to see really good basketball players that are dressed in white too.
Barry, don't you think that your assortment of perimeter defenders have a good shot at making SIU look good against this young man?
I have confidence in our guys. But I have great confidence telling you we've never guarded a guy like this since I've been here. So I'm not putting my peacock feathers out on this one at all. We've collectively got to guard this guy. When you say assortment, I think collection is the best way to say that. But I've got confidence that our guys can defend. We haven't defended 2 games in a row. We're going to have to defend tomorrow night. And we better make our mind up that we're not going to outscore people.
What about Sean's performance here lately? He was the player of the league, player of the week in the Valley last week. What has enabled him to come to the forefront lately?
I got tickled. I'm doing the post-game radio show, and I'm listening to Sean do his interview and TV interview, and he's saying, you know, I just kind of felt with Armand being out of the game, I had to take this role of being a junkyard dog. And I got tickled at that because we have constantly talked to Sean about being that player. And when you lose a guy, when you lose your leading scorer or you have incidents such as we're going through right now, somebody has to take up the slack. Whether you do it collectively or individually, it kind of goes from game to game. But certainly Sean did that against SEMO, and he really likes that role. I mean, Sean is a how's the best way to? Sean is a postman living in a forward's body. Sean's always wanted to be a big guy, and now he's getting to. I think Santa gave him a gift early, so he's enjoying his prize right now.
Matt McMahon said, I think the first 5 games they saw 14 different defenses. When you're trying to slow Morant and all of them, you just do what you do, or do you kind of have to throw different things at him to try to?
Yeah, I think when Matt sees us, it's going to be, Matt, we're going to guard you man to man, because that's kind of what we do. So we have played 6 seconds of zone this year, I think. I mean, I'm being facetious, but we haven't even played a full possession of zone. So I think there's a good chance we're going to do what we normally do with Morant.
The offense has scored 80 points 4 times this year, gotten close again 2 other times. How effective has the offense been this year in your eyes?
Well, our offense has saved us on many occasions. It saved us at SIUE, and it saved us at SEMO because we chose 2 games not to defend. And and really it saved us in the first half at Colorado State. But we are constantly telling our guys right now, we feel like we can score. That's not going to be, in order to win a championship or in order to put ourselves in a position for postseason play, we have got to defend and rebound the basketball better, and we've got to quit turning it over. We're turning it over way too much.
Ryan Buchanan had 27 steals in 6 games. What did they do that's been so active that you've seen?
Well, they're just aggressive, and certainly after you look at the stats at Middle Tennessee State, 3 assists, 24 turnovers, that certainly perked us up. So we've worked the last 2 days in practice to try to simulate a little bit of what they do. We don't have the athletes that they have, so we've just got to be smarter. I think the biggest thing with me on turnovers is that we got a lot of guys trying to hear the roar of the crowd. We just got to make the easy play and make the simple pass. If we do that, I think we got a chance to be pretty good offensively.
Ball has regular availability?
Pardon?
Ball?
Oh, Bo. I thought I said ball. Teak practiced today. That's all I can tell you, and it looked pretty good. I mean, Teak's got a new routine before games. It takes him about an hour to get ready, but it seems to have been working. It's harder on the road because we don't have some of the equipment that we have here, but I anticipate that Teak will play. I think he'll play tomorrow night.
So the baseball expression, day to day.
Oh, no question.
Applies to him.
No question. No, day to day and game to game. Yeah, no question. That's going to be that way the entire year.
10 games in, how has Cuba helped you so far?
I don't think I can answer that question until the end of the season. I can't say it's hurt us, but I think at the end of it, I think we'll be able to see. I'm predicting, and I'm optimistic that I'll be able to look back and say it helped us. You can ask the players more so that than anything. But yes, Aaron Cook does not need to turn the ball over. Oh, hi, Aaron. They just asked me a question about turnovers. He is such a good kid. Okay, guys. What else?
Barry, how does working in final exams week when the practices are at a different time? I'm guessing they are.
Oh, yeah, there's no question.
How does that affect you and your team?
Well, it affects everybody all over the country. So you'll watch Saturday. There's 2 times a year that upsets happen. And it's after the MTEs, the multi-team events, when teams come back from the road, specifically Hawaii and foreign trips, and then after finals week. That's your week of upsets. Because, just like you said, you've gone through a week that is a focus week for academics, It's a grind academically. You're taken out of your normal routine and you're practicing at different times. Yesterday we practiced at 8 o'clock. Today we practiced at 8:30. Tonight we're bringing our guys back. I mean, why is our routine different? Because we've got a math final in our facility. We can't get guys in class or out of class, which we don't need to do the practice. Women have to practice, so we're all over the board. So it really comes down to maturity and focus when you're in finals week.
Real fast, the Buffalo, getting them a second time, sort of a pre-conference second look, I guess. But what do you get out of that home and home, especially?
I think it's been huge.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the best scheduling moves we've ever made. With the new matrix that they're using right now with the net, I think it's been huge. We didn't know when we scheduled Buffalo that when we played them they'd be 25th in the country, and we sure didn't know they'd be 14th in the country and one of only 9 undefeated teams. But they certainly have our respect. There's no question they're an NCAA team, but this is both these games this week are games that if you're not fortunate enough to win a conference championship outright, that you put yourself in a position for an at-large bid. And but what we talk about every day is let's just get better. We don't talk about, the only big picture thing we talk about is win a conference championship. Literally, that's it. And our focus every day is to get better.
How has the team changed since the last time you faced Buffalo, though?
One, I think we're healthier. Teague's healthier. Eric McGill's healthier. And, you know, they're better, and they're playing with a lot more confidence. They're 9-0, and we've won 5 games in a row. Hopefully it'll be 6 games in a row when we go in there. But, I mean, we're sitting here talking about Buffalo, guys. To be quite frank, I've not watched one film. I haven't watched anything. I haven't even looked at their stats. All I'm worried about is the racers, and which is enough to keep me up at night.
Anything else for Coach?